Now we are gaming.
Now we are gaming. What's up, Baku gamers? We're back at it again because our rulings in this game have a higher turnaround rate than most national retail stores. But fret not.
Most national currencies.
Yeah, most national currencies. $1, $1 to the next person, right? How dirty money is because people keep touching it and passing it around to each other.
Cool bug fact. All your paper money is poop. It is literally poop. The amount of feces on your paper money is all of it. You're touching poop. Carry on, Queso. They know who I am.
Thank you, Toolbox. So as we were saying, again, glass half full. They are being insanely responsive, but that's not going to keep people from just losing their minds. And we've seen time and time again, these rules are to help people by design. We are getting ruling questions answered that we have not forever. So, it just sucks that the reactions to them are just so all over the place. I'm just gonna say all over the place. I feel like it would be a drastic assumption or claim otherwise.
It's pretty cool that in every single new iteration, every time we get back a collective answers for ruling questions, one of them is just absolutely dumb as hell.
And then we have to hyper focus that one for the next.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We have to hyper focus that one.
Speaking of which,
it's like, oh, there's another Magnus video.
So, last video we went over on how Maximus got treaded back on because that was ridiculous. Now we have boop.
Okay, now hold on.
Yes.
Because people keep saying this.
Yeah.
Maximus has always been, and by always I mean since December when we first heard it, has been full names only. We've currently got Gary Arant, who has been responding to us ever so graciously. I love you, Gary.
Love you, Gary.
He's been responding to us on the Google document. And this is not a case of they changed the rulings again.
Yes.
This is a case of
just
Gary
reinstating previous rulings.
Yeah, Gary is misinformed and answered with an outdated ruling.
Yes.
To which he had to then clarify with Justin, who did have the current up-to-date ruling. Now this brings up its own problems, that being, why did Gary have to go to Justin? Why do they not have like a current document that just has the rulings on it?
Now they do.
but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe. Maybe in a podcast or something. We could go over
maybe
that.
If it gets broken again. Who knows?
We'll see. But anyway, we have the Mac ruling. So the thing about this that's a little bit so you can negate it again. Sinkhole is now viable. Let's get that out of the way. Finally, yes, actually, the Aquos bundle has value again. Thank God. It
still had value.
Yeah, I mean, because of the 4-packs, but we're meaning,
it's 4
all right?
packs,
we're
Blinding Ink's a $3 card. That's $18 for $15. Like...
Yes, I know.
It still has value.
It still has value.
It will never not have value.
But it now has a little more value. Because
we now have 2 of the 11 reprints. Actually makes sense.
And Mud Pit.
Actually 3, I forgot Mud Pit. Yeah. Mud Pit! Mud Pit!
Mud Pit! Mud Pit! Mud Pit!
Baku gamers!
Baku gamers!
Mud Pit tutorial!
Mud Pit!
Mud Pit!
Yo, if you keep talking to me like that, I'm gonna throw you in the Mud Pit.
Bro, I'd love to get in the Mud Pit with you.
Maybe after the video. Okay, so anyway, before we make this video like 15 minutes long, further delaying our visit to the Mud Pit.
As we always do.
So, Mac can now be negated by Sinkhole, but they clarified that when... I think this was in 25, so we can go over that in 25. But when you play this effects have been also altered so that they are still different from the initial card being played. So it's kind of like meeting us in the middle, I guess. It's still weird.
Okay, so they've changed it. No, ruling 11, infamous ruling 11.
Yeah.
Previously stated, when you play this effects have no counters, since they come in as separate entities from the card that you play them on. And we don't have any negate and effect cards. So whatever you do, that when you play this effect will happen. They changed that to say, okay, now when you play a card that has a when you play this effect, the when you play this effect stays attached to the card until the card resolves. Then the when you play this effect goes into the batch and you can't respond to that.
Yes.
Yes. So, oops, maybe there still will be a negate this effect kind of card, but now it's not a necessity to stop the uncounterable cards.
Yeah. Because if you negate the thing playing, you negate that effect.
Yes. If you negate the card, you negate everything about the card.
So, thank God that nightmare's over.
Thank God. However, like
weird.
this means Mac is no longer in this odd spot.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Glaive is still in this spot where it's like, okay, you can't interact with that. That's ruling 24. We can talk about that at a later time.
Yes, and then also we can go more in depth of the applications, how this wasn't necessarily a problem just alone to Mac.
Oh yeah.
Like
People kept hyping up Mac because damage wins is stupid and it's the most egregious of the he has the most egregious of when you play this effect. Also, his is slightly worded differently, and Gary directly addressed him.
Yes.
In the ruling, he didn't actually go over the. Yeah, he didn't actually go over the when you play this effects until the clarification.
Yes.
But like Mac and Glaive are the two cards, I guess Tempest Generator to some degree, but Mac and Glaive are the two cards that have when you play this effects that you're going to see the most.
Yes.
And one is change the win condition of the turn. The other is core manipulation, matrix manipulation. Yeah. And people kept hyper focusing on the win condition of the turn. And oops. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but like when you play this, like that like Mac being uninteractable, I've seen, and this is to no one in particular, I've heard this from many instances, was seen as a nerf to Aquos. A lot of people have been saying that. It's not. It's a nerf to the to the integrity of the game.
It is nerfing interactions between players.
Exactly. It's like
not really a nerf. It's just a here are free cards pretty much.
Yeah. And just because Mac was no longer interactable did not mean, like, of course Sinkhole being poo-poo was horrible, but it did not make Aquos anywhere near the point where it was going to see less play. It was not going to do that because you still have blinding inks, you still have like all this,
you still have
all
Baku
the Baku treasure,
Shell Bomb.
Yeah, Howling
Pyrus,
Shell Bomb.
Shun.
Like, there's reasons to run Aquos. Just because Mac is no longer interactable does not mean Aquos is going to see any less play. It's going to see the most it's ever seen come Fusion Force. Like, so.
Oops.
It was, and like, let alone you can use Sync Fury, which became like even Mac like being uninteractable was not that, like, it's more of a big deal with the slippery slope that it causes with the when you play this effects. Let's focus on that instead of Mac, because Mac is just disruptive because like on its own reason, like because it's like I win this turn, you can't do anything.
Yeah, and then like very similarly to Mac, you have Magnus, which is when you play this plus 5000B.
Yes.
And that in itself is
it's a win condition,
uncounterable free win.
Yeah, like let's focus instead of specifics and think about the mechanic in general, the when you play this, because if that was allowed to be completely uninteractable, not only does that prove to be degenerative for the cards that are already out, said Mac and Magnus and glaive, but it is a possible Slippery Slope for the cards that will come out in the future that do not have this, because the game was mapped out for 3 years. The cards that are, this is like year 2, so like up to the end of next year, these cards are already made.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for them to push it out. So with that ruling in mind, these cards are going to be made like completely ignorant to whatever rulings we're discussing now. So they could be completely busted if this ruling was left unchecked. Like completely just game breaking. So it is good that we got clarification on this. And it's not just about Mac. Think about the mechanic as a whole.
Please.
Yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Mac's over.
Sorry,
are we done with
I'm
Mac?
Target right now.
Do you have anything else to add on that?
I'm gonna Target.
Okay, so we're gonna scoop on over to 21. I think is the next one that we see.
Yeah, maybe. Hold on, I'll be right
So
back.
or is it 19? 19 follow up.
Hold on.
So this was about Leah and whether or not the last ruling we kept up on was, when you look at the top 3 cards of your deck to pick a hero among them, what do you do with the rest of the cards? The developers said, hey, just put them in the same order. If you see that your opponent is not putting them in the same order, call over a judge for cheating. And we took grievance with that and said the honor system still seems like an issue. It really can't be stopped, but bringing a judge, like, it's like, how can you tell? Like, I feel like there's like a better way to solve that, which in a lot of card games they just say, put them in any order, just so there's not that issue. So just to minimize on that type of stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just any small thing you can do to avoid those types of interactions would be more advantageous than just saying, trust the guy. Just watch him. Like, I don't want to have to, like, not trust my opponent and go, I'm watching you, activate Leah. You know, so rearranging that interaction is completely dissolved. So that's the thing, and they said they're not planning on changing that at this time. So they don't expect a change on that, to be honest.
Oops.
If a player in Rule 21, if a player has selected Aurelus Hypertrox, this is the one where does Deep Dive and Quickfire affect Aurelus Trox? Does it get the boost if you do not target it? If you choose not to reroll. The dev said yes. So Deep Dive, Quickfire away, get that free boost, and you don't have to risk re-rolling, because for some reason Trox Core sucks at rolling. So the Toshi rule is very convoluted, but it basically says, how does Super Fuel interact with it? Because I know Super Fuel causes a lot of problems, because it says the next card you play is free, and that was like interactions with Dan. That was confusing for a while, and now Toshi is the nearest, the total viable one that everyone's going to be playing, and we're going to see this a lot. Yeah, okay.
Fuck, is Toshi good?
Again, similar to the Max situation, this is more of just setting a standard of how this interaction will play, and Toshi's just kind of the prime example. So basically... Well,
he's the only one that does that. There's Garganoid, but what are you going to do with Garganoid?
Yeah, Garganoid smells. So
Garganoid
basically...
smells.
Copy the first action you play, and then play Super Fuel as their first action card this turn. What happens? Super Fuel states you must re-roll your Bakugan. If you open on the re-roll, the next card you play this turn costs 3 energy less to play. How does that interact with Toshi? So is it because Toshi copies it, and we're afraid Super Fuel will use up its energy? On the copied effect?
Yeah, the first version. What we're afraid of is the first version Super Fuel reducer will go into the copy, and then it's also like, what's the order of operations here? Is it reroll, and then out of those 2 rerolls,
you get 3 for how many rerolls you landed.
Yeah.
So you can get up to 6 energy with Toshi's effect. So it copies it. It does not play, technically, I guess.
Yeah. Yo, is it time to put Toshi in the AA Leah deck?
Okay. Actually? Ooh, hold on.
No. Hold on.
And then...
Hold on, guys.
This is 23. In response to answers from question 11, both Might of Sindius and Dark Rage have the text, "This turn, the victor is decided by highest damage wins instead of beat power." Are these effects that come in separately from the card itself, or will this condition only activate when the card itself resolves? So similar to Mac. So, is this why people were like, Might of Sindius cannot be negated?
I think it might have been. People are just like, okay, Mac can't be negated, and he's a damage wins. So maybe the other ones can't, but like, that's stupid. Read the card, dum-dum. So it says this turn. There's no any where you play this. It is this turn. So therefore, that card needs to have resolved, and for its effect to go through. It's not an actual when you play this type of thing.
Yes.
It is only this turn. It is clearly stating this card has resolved.
And that seems to line up with
that
what Gary said, so.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it states. And are we going to talk about number 24, the big stupid one for
we are
for
talking
today?
about 24. So before, from what we understood, for what we personally ruled in our untaps and our tournaments that we decided to hold ourselves and just casual gameplay, when one activated Glimmering Glaive, it was on activation when you first set it down that you have to target which core that you would grab with it, and that would allow your opponent to interact with it however they need to, maybe use a reroll, target it, and like reroll on the core that you targeted, fizzling the effect.
And then make it fizzle,
yeah. That was what we were allowed to do before by our own means. I don't think we had any actual confirmation on the matter, but...
I don't think we had any either, and I didn't play Glaive at all, so I don't really remember what the hell people were doing. But maybe people were doing that. Maybe people were waiting for resolution.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
So now we do.
But either way...
Yeah, now we do have confirmation.
Yeah.
So they say that the selection happens on resolution, which essentially makes Glimmering Glaive uninteractable, unless you have Washed Away.
Yeah, you need to negate the gear.
Shout out for Washed Away not being garbage now.
Ew. It's also never been garbage, but like, it can negate a 10 cost gear. What's up? For 2 energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, your plus 20 stat points in Ventus Channeler, gone. No thanks. I had 2 energy to spare. Oops.
But I mean, it was probably going to see most use for Glimmering Glaive, because not a lot of people use Tempest Generator. Not Tempest Generator, fucking...
what, Ventus Channeler?
Ventus Channeler, yeah. So I feel like that's kind of a non-argument. But I mean, yeah, it's like 2 for 10 is kind of insane value.
The whole point behind... like the whole nice thing about Washed Away was, okay, this comes out at the same time as Glimmering Blade on turn 2. So if someone, like, unless you're double coring, but please stop overvaluing double core pickups. Stop! We live in an isolated gaming world right now. You don't know how physics are going to react when someone else comes in. Stop doing it!
Yeah, Zoom battles are very valuable for... Okay.
Do not base your deck building decisions around, but what is it like when I double core pick up? Shut up! Stop!
It's so unreliable. It's so unreliable.
Like, even if you can train, if you know how to perfectly do it, no, you don't, because you're practicing in a not accurate environment. Playing video brawls is not accurate. Playing Untapped is not accurate. Yeah. Nothing will be accurate to the real life game.
Yeah, it's rough, man. But anyway,
so stop it.
We're gonna go to 25, which we pretty much already went over. So
pretty much, yeah.
I'm just gonna read it out loud, and then if we have anything else to say about it, we do, and if we don't, see ya. You know, when a card when you play this effect enters the batch and is able to resolve, will the effect text resolve at the same time as the card, or is it once the card resolves, then the effect gets added to the batch and has to wait for itself to resolve? So once the card enters play or resolves, the effect will trigger and go on to the batch. So once the card is resolved, the triggered effect enters the batch separately.
Yeah, it's a 1-2 punch. So again, we went over this. It's first the person plays the card. The effect is there. It's just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
Okay, it sits inside the card. It's incubating, and then the player can respond by negating that card, whether it be a gear or a hero. And then, if people decide not to negate that, then the effect goes back into the batch to where it can't be touched, and it will happen.
Yes. So basically,
Yes.
negate the card, and you're fine.
Yeah, it's negate it, or negate the card itself, or have fun. Yeah. As we currently don't have effect negates.
Essentially.
Essentially.
So that'll do it. This video is kind of running on long enough as it is. So, hey, thank you, Toolbox, for joining on this.
Hey,
and,
remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, World Series Universe. Go ahead, check it out, please.
Maybe I'll start uploading.
Toolbox is doing a lot of work in constant contact with
Spin Master representation. And like he made the document. He's putting in a lot of work into this. So please show him love. Oh my God. If not for follow me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Tallbunks24.
Tallbunks24. Ooh. That being said, you guys have a great one. Be safe out there. Stay calm. Stay alert. Damage wins. Is interactable. See ya.